So, how you feeling?
About what? What, right now?
It's been almost 2 months.
No, it hasn't.
Last time was after that barbecue at your sister's.
Okay, fine. We'll do it tomorrow. But it's gotta be quick.
Don't worry, it will be.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them, the Adam Sandler saga. This week we're doing the weirdest movie in Adam Sandler's oeuvre, Men, Women, and Children. I'm Patrick Scale, as always. With me, on loan from WBUR, is Joe Vekeman.
Yeah!
You're trying to break that NPR persona, are you, Joe?
Oh, for sure.
All right, very good. But we have a special guest this week, Miss Kerry Howell.
Hi, guys.
There you go. It's all right. She's been very excited. Now, so here's the interesting thing about Kerry. Kerry has seen only 2 Adam Sandler films before this.
What is the other one? Wait, before this?
Before this. What are the 2, Kerry?
The one with Drew Barrymore where she forgets
Which
everything.
one? Oh,
I don't even know what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, First Dates.
And the one when he's a dad. Super adorable. With the little kid. Baby Daddy?
Big Daddy.
There you
Big
go.
Daddy. That was a good one.
I know you haven't watched the rest of his movies, but he becomes a dad in almost the rest of his movies after that one.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Kerry, for joining us on the audio boards. As always, Lev Van Rensselaer. Thank you for helping us out. Lev and Joe, I talked to the intern. I got the $20 for you. Was that you or was that Bob?
I don't remember.
All right.
We're talking about Jiminy?
Yeah, Jiminy.
Did you finally let him out of this cage?
No, Jiminy's not our intern anymore.
Oh.
The session's over. He's back at the new semester.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. But somebody last week said they owed him $20, so I had to email him this weekend.
You emailed him $20?
No.
This is new.
No.
And
Venmo.
No.
You want Venmo? Not
What?
cool enough for Venmo.
I don't know what Venmo is. I'm old and...
Venmo.
Venmo.
You don't know what Venmo is?
Nope.
I'm surprised
All right.
Joe does it. What is it?
When you don't have cash, you download the app. You can give all your friends cash.
I try to
What
say
is
Right out of your
this?
bank account.
This sorcery.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, guys.
What is it? What's like its applicable? When would that situation
Like
come
when you're
up?
out to dinner in the city and no one has cash, and you have to split a bill 6 ways.
Oh.
I usually just suck it up and pay the whole bill.
Oh,
Why,
God.
Joe? That
Oh,
doesn't
gosh.
solve the problem. That
I
raises
solve the
more
problem
issues.
because I need to make the train home. I've done it before.
Get Venmo.
All right,
You
and
won't
then
go
this
broke.
week's sponsor, Lev, I'm getting to it. This week's sponsor is The Refuge in Alston. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Refuge
Yeah.
Cafe. Go there. Great breakfast all day.
Kerry
Good
Howell
coffees.
approves. You know that means it's got good food, because I don't much care for food. But hey, they're a great place. They're a great session. Alston, very awesome. All right, so we'll thank them for bringing this episode to you. All right, let's talk Men, Women, Children. So
This
Kerry,
movie... Oh, okay. Yep, sorry.
Kerry, having only seen those 2 Adam Sandler movies before this, how was your reintegration to the world of Adam Sandler here?
Didn't dig it as much as the other ones.
Yeah, it is definitely very different.
It's a different atmosphere for...
I think it's weird that we did this movie because he's barely in it.
Well, they hop around from character to character.
Like
He starts off the movie
This is-
in a beautiful way.
this is the first movie we've seen since Bulletproof where he wasn't the main character.
Okay, who is the main character, though?
There isn't. That's the thing. It's
Right,
like
Emma Thompson.
I know. I'm just saying it's really weird to see an Adam Sandler movie where Adam Sandler's not the star, which is even weirder that he would choose a role like this. But then I think back to all the grown-ups jokes he had about the kids and technology, and maybe he has like a personal grudge, sort of about the way the world is now with the type of digital communication that's there, and so he maybe felt like he had a stake in this movie.
I think he just wanted to grow a beard.
Or they just gave him a lot of money and say, hey, want to be in this movie?
I don't think this
and he's
movie.
like,
What was the
okay.
budget of this movie, Joe?
This budget was $16 million.
So
no.
So in a movie, Kerry, where in most movies he usually makes $20 million.
Punch Drunk Love had
Weird.
a bigger budget than this.
They
And that
had
movie came out 10 years before.
So many famous people in it, though.
Yes, I
Which is
think I don't
shocking.
know. Like a lot of Joe. There's a lot to talk about in this movie, but the first thing I want to discuss
Is him jerking off.
No, is how much money this movie made.
Oh.
So, Kerry, this movie had a budget of $16 million. How much, with all the stars in this movie, do you think this movie made? in the theaters?
I have no idea.
If you had to take a guess.
I don't know. I don't know how much movies made.
His average
100 million?
So his average movies have made about $80 million in the last couple years.
And that blended movie that we did last week only made $40 million.
Only made $40 million.
Or around $40 million.
20 million?
Oh, you're so close, Kerry. What's the number, Joe?
$705,000.
No, did anyone go to the movies to watch it?
I saw this movie.
I accidentally saw it in a movie theater. So
he didn't know Adam Sandler was
I saw a trailer for this movie before another movie I had gone and saw, and I go, oh, that movie looked kind of weird. Let's go check it out. And then the next week I went when it was in Bellingham, weirdly. And I was the only one there. And then, and then as the credits go down, in the middle of it, Adam Sandler, and you go, what's happening in this movie? And then I had no idea what the trailer was so bad. I had no idea what the movie was about.
Yeah, I was going to say, did their trailer, I don't even know what
the trailer just had like some sad music and just had shots of people.
Right, what else would they have done, though?
Exactly.
Because
it's a hard movie to advertise, which is probably why the movie made so much money. So, like, if you break it down, let's just say on average, this movie, a movie ticket's $10. This movie sold 70,000 tickets across 3,000 theaters.
Out of 300 million Americans.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Right, so that's like 10 people, couple people, a handful of people a movie theater.
The foreign gross though was 1,500,000.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how that translates.
I don't think this movie seems very much Americana. That's all.
Yeah, well, it was boring. It's a good thing people didn't waste their time.
So, but here's the deal. Like having watched this, I liked it when I watched it the first time. But having watched the second time, I can see why people didn't like this movie.
Yes.
It's got a very heavy-handed feel to it. I thought that this movie is almost devoid of subtext.
Devoid of subtext.
Yeah, there's even some of it that lingers for a bit. By the end of the movie, it's all revealed anyway.
Yeah,
so.
This is my second watch through of this.
Yeah,
I liked it 100% less.
I didn't like it much less. I still it was harder to get into because I'm like, this feels a little preachy, but I don't know. There's still a
little preachy. Jennifer Garner's character was the absolute epitome of.
Okay, but we're not supposed to like her, so that's okay. That's different. It's not.
But there's no shades to her character. It was just like.
Well, that's the lack of subtext. That's the problem. And there are shades to character, right? Like we hate her a lot from the beginning, but then like when we see her in the bed, like just awake and terrified, and then her daughter comes home, and then she can finally let a sigh of relief. Like, we see her side of the story. Maybe that's just us because we're younger. So it's harder for us to come at it. There aren't a lot of depth to these characters because they're meant to be talking points more than anything else, which is the unfortunate nature of this film. But I don't know, as a man who's interested in communication and watching this movie about failing communication in an age of communication, it's an interesting thing to me still, so I still got some mileage out of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to recommend to other people.
It put me to sleep.
Yeah, boring. It's pretty predictable too, honestly.
Yeah, that's the problem with the heavy-handedness of it, right? Yeah. It's meant to give you a lesson of the week. So
I don't even know what the lesson was. What was the lesson?
Well,
technology's bad. It's so bad.
No.
Don't succumb to technology.
At the same time, it is good because with the kid texting that other girl and things like that, and then she didn't text back or she was mean back. Well, if she was nice back and the mom didn't steal the phone, then he wouldn't have taken all those pills.
Well, so I think what the lesson is that communication, not technology per se, but communication. We shouldn't take communication for granted. We should still understand that it's a lot of hard work. And I think that's what the Adam Sandler marriage is kind of meant to symbolize. When they were younger, and it was before 9/11, it was before they had cell phones even, they were in love with each other, they were talking, they were communicating. Right, but then the world... but then the world...
we're going to blame their relationship...
No.
Demise off of getting a cell phone.
No, well, let me explain. But now they're in this world where communication's almost too easy, and so everything kind of gets taken for granted, and people aren't talking the right way anymore. They might even be not even be talking to each other, but at each other. So it's not that technology has made their ruins; it's made them lazier, and so they stop communicating with each other the correct way and the more intimate way. And just checking in with each other and seeing how they're growing and seeing how they're still converging together. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
I have two things.
Yeah.
One for Kerry. What do you think of these emojis that kept popping up that don't exist?
I was so mad. I was like, Patrick, that doesn't exist.
And I have no idea.
I want those emojis.
All right, and then Patrick.
Yeah.
You want the emotion?
She needs more forms of expression.
Yeah.
I might have brought this up before when I first saw this, but I want to mention to you, what'd you think of Tommy Gavin's daughter, his youngest daughter, being the victim of a mother trying to take pictures of her all the time?
Who's Tommy Gavin?
From Rescue Me, Dennis Leary's character.
Oh, that's his daughter?
His little daughter.
Oh.
She's
In
so
real
grown
life?
up. No, it's just in the show. But she was like a 6-year-old in the show when it started.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's how old she is now.
Oh, we're so old.
Yeah.
We are old men. Not you, Kerry. You still have a lot of life ahead of you. But not us. So that's all. So that was my thought. That was my initial thoughts. That's what I think this movie is. But let's talk about some of the thoughts that we had as we went through the movie. I know Kerry had quite a lot of thoughts.
Yep. Give them. Let them loose.
Where do I begin? I feel like
That's okay. So let's go back to the theme of communication, right? Like we open up on the Voyager, and I think the reason we do that.
This movie's, I really liked it the first. I thought it was like a fun watch again.
Yeah.
Like, a movie I liked. And
well, it's definitely a lot more fun when you have no idea what you're expecting from this movie.
I think that's why.
So when you go and you're like, "Oh, movie about communication," it kind of lets you down a few spots because but I don't know. The Voyager is sort of like mankind's first attempt to communicate with the world outside of them. But what do we give them? We give them records. We give them things that they wouldn't even know what they are or how to play them, and we draw on the records too. And the records have some music that we've made that they might not even have the ears to possess and understand. We give them the sounds of like a kiss and of water running and of birds, just things that I don't know why we think that would be an optimum means of communicating with animals. And I think the only reason why we did aliens, and I think the only reason why we did that is because it's sort of the best that we can do. It's sort of, that's how we're limited in our communication. So I think that's why you get this further now examination of it. You get this weird pale blue dot stuff there at the end. I'm not quite sure how well that ties in with the theme. It feels like we jump ship somewhere.
Yeah, they tried so hard.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a really strong point and really impactful movie with a great point, and it didn't work.
I mean, it worked fine for the one kid's arc, where he feels that he's worthless, and so now he plays in his video game stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was so cute. I have notes. Let me find them.
Let's talk about the football player and the
little girl from Justified.
Yes, the girl is the daughter of Jennifer Garner.
I don't know anyone's name in this movie after watching it for 2 hours.
No, somebody might be named Kent, I think, but other than that,
I don't know who that was.
I think that's the Breaking Bad guy. Who's also
a show you've never watched, by the way.
Who was also in Under the Dome.
Yes, a show I probably think you watched more than Breaking Bad so far.
Yeah, I do regret watching Under the Dome. Kerry, go on.
So the ex-football kid and Brandy, he's so cute because he said cosmically nothing mattered, but he said talking to Brandy mattered, and I thought it was the cutest thing in the world because he was saying that he was saying like we're all made of these atoms, and then one day the world in the universe is just going to crumble and be nothing, and he said something's comforting about that. But then, so he was like, it's not a big deal if I quit football. It doesn't matter. And it's not a big deal if you went over and talked to this girl, is what he said. But really it was because he was like, nothing else matters in the universe. And then he was like, but talking to Brandy mattered.
So should Joe try that pickup line?
Yes.
Joe, you should just walk up to some guy.
All men should try that. I would melt.
Right, I guarantee you would work because nobody's seen this movie, so you'd be fine. Well, but then there was like another line that the bald guy said to the redhead lady, and you didn't like that line.
Hank.
What was his line?
Remember, he was like, I kept going to sleep every night.
Oh no, it was too soon.
It was too soon.
It was a little creepy.
But the talking to Brandy matters is okay.
Yeah, it was cute, but don't come on too strong.
Could you relate?
Word of advice, guys.
Could you relate when he wrote this super long message that was all super personal?
She was yelling.
I yelled
at
the TV. So he writes this cutest, this honest message, and I'm like, send it, and then he deletes it, and I'm like, no, why did you delete
Kerry, here's
it?
a question I've always asked for people like you. Do you think that they can hear you?
Like you, what is that supposed to mean?
Kerry, when you yell at the movie, do you think that they?
No, I just need to express my emotions.
Oh, you just
I just need to let everyone around me know how angry I am. That this guy didn't...
I do wonder that when people do that.
Yeah.
I think it's entertaining.
No, we can't hear me.
It's another layer.
I know, but I just
want to understand, that's all. So, I mean, what was weird, though, is that even though you were bored, you still had an insane amount of reactions to this movie in real time.
I know.
So I'm trying to understand your headspace.
Well, I mean, I guess...
Because I'm sitting there quietly. I'm just staring right at it.
This is how you watch movies.
There to do it. Enjoying myself with a very stoic, stern face. And then Carrie's like, get on. And then some point she's just like, oh, man.
Yeah, I would get like
Is
super
this
bored
movie almost done? Oh, yeah.
and get fidgety.
And then sometimes she'd be like,
But there was like 5 times where I'm
Yeah.
just like, where I really felt emotion there.
Well, I don't know how many movies you watch. I don't think you watch
Not
many.
very
She's
often.
not.
So, but if you like that actor who was the young man in this movie, have you seen The Fault in Our Stars?
No.
Oh, I feel like this movie was tailor made for you. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
you would like it.
Don't.
No.
Is it exciting?
No, it's a love story. It's
Oh.
a beautiful love story.
Tell her what happens at the end, Joe.
No. No, it.
He's gonna make me watch it.
No, yes.
I only watch movies to do podcasts.
That's it. I mean,
I'm not doing a Fault in Our Stars podcast.
no. It's
not
really
happening.
sad. No, it's
Yeah.
the
A sad
tagline.
love story.
Yeah, the
You
tagline.
love The Notebook.
I don't anymore. I've been through a
been through
lot
hell
this
and back.
summer,
You
so
can't do The
I'm
Notebook
kind of
anymore.
anti love stories. Except this,
Except for the
cute-
football player and
these
the
cute moments.
harkened you back to high school.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's
Yeah.
more than just a love story. That movie's about not being able to fulfill your full potential.
Yeah, Carrie would love that. Yeah. There you go, Carrie.
You're gonna cry the whole
You want to
time.
see a movie
Yes.
about not fulfilling your potential?
But
Does it teach you to fulfill your full potential?
maybe. Well, you should watch it. I'll let you borrow it. I have it.
Oh gosh.
We can watch it together. We can borrow it. We'll see. It's fun.
So listen, I want to talk about the high school thing here because it takes place at a high school. I like that we see a lot of the little side characters kind of overlapping in other people's plots. It feels cool. But we also, listeners at home, you don't know this, but Joe, Kerry, and I all went to the same high school together, and
Our plots overlapped sometimes.
and I got fed the line by one of the guidance counselors, the high schools are the best years of your lives. They say it in this movie too.
Don't listen to them.
Did you guys
people.
get that? And also, why are people still...
Are our listeners all high school kids?
No, but
If you're in high school, your life isn't over.
Yeah, listen,
your life
yeah.
is going to get a million times better. I promise you.
Why do people still say that now? We have to know by now,
You know-
as a society, that high school is not at all the best years of anyone's life. And if
But-
it are, you have a rough life ahead of you.
Honestly, I feel like
I know some people like that. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those like high school people, I totally get it. Like the adrenaline of playing in all those games. It must be
Sure.
so exciting, like being with all your friends. You don't really have that outside of high school, so I get that. It's very
Maybe it should
unless
be
you
like
go to
added.
college.
Like there are a lot of fun things about high school life that you should take advantage of, but also remember that a lot of life happens after this.
It absolutely does, but
The
I'm just
majority
saying.
of your life.
That should be the guidance counselor line right there. Don't do the high school best years of your life nonsense. We all know it's not true. It's patently not true.
But for some people, like Joe said, it is like the football thing. You
Well,
can't.
don't tell them that. Then that only makes them sadder later on.
Yeah.
Right? Just say, try it out, but let's remember it. So the people that maybe they're
you're
focusing
right.
so much on football, they don't care about what happens afterwards.
They don't because
All
they
right,
live in the
so-
moment and they're young and dumb.
Right? Yes.
So there's another point. J.K. Simmons' daughter.
J.K. Simmons criminally underutilized in this
Oh,
movie.
heavens
The guy
to
that I
Bessie.
like?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's in it for like 2 minutes and he steals every scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's this is
One scene he's asleep, steals that scene.
Did you ever see Juno?
Yes, I love
This is the
Juno.
same director.
Okay, yes. I
He
saw
always
it in the
uses
beginning.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah.
Why not, right? That guy
Yes.
worked. That guy's good.
Yeah, he must be harder to get now since
Yeah,
he's
that
also
as for his daughter, that was like the worst storyline
Yeah, she bothered me.
in this movie. It's the most ridiculous.
It is the most ridiculous because she had pictures of skinny girls all over her wall. I don't know if you noticed. I noticed a
Yeah.
lot of background stuff in this movie.
we follow her as she's looking at them.
Yeah.
Why aren't the parents being like, huh?
Yeah, the
That
dad
is-
comes in with the meatloaf and looks at them like, "Oh God."
If she
Yeah,
has-
he's just like,
eats
oh,
this.
brother.
Right? And she
What are we gonna
he
do?
comes in, she quickly exits out of the website. Like, what? You can't exit out of your room.
Yeah, was it her
Blonde
was it
lady?
Skinny something.
Yeah.
Skinny Alley.
Whatever.
Skinny,
yeah. No, I don't know.
Skinny
like
bitches don't eat
Yeah.
or something.
Skinny bitches don't eat. Yes, that's correct. No, and then the sex scene. Then the sex scene. So here's how it lays out, audience at home, because I know you haven't seen this movie. She's at her friend's house,
King douche.
and the friend's brother's friend is the guy she's
Playing
into.
Guitar Hero.
So the friend's brother's friend leaves his friend at the house by himself. At the house that's not his. And then she says to her friends, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then she goes like 3 feet away to
Her
talk to him.
friends want to watch Breaking Amish.
Yes, which Kerry
I've never seen it, but it was just, I was laughing so hard because this kid was so excited for it.
He really wanted to watch that show.
I believe that scene, so it works.
Yeah.
So she goes and talks to that kid for a little bit. Then they end up in the bedroom. Then they have what I can only imagine is super quick and embarrassing sex. And then she goes...
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes back to the bedroom, and they don't even hey, you were gone for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's weird. We also heard you talking to that guy, and you clearly came out of a few different rooms.
Really sad for a split second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that scene bothered this staging is not
awkward.
working. Yeah, well,
But
that's so when you're trying to make these talking points, you have to force a lot of these things in.
Right. Even with the quarterback trying to have sex with that other chick. It was the weirdest scene ever.
No, but that scene was okay with scene being weird because he had, I don't know.
He didn't even kiss her or anything. I'm like, if you've seen, if you've watched all of that porn, then maybe you should know you should kiss her first.
I don't know.
That was
is there much kissing in porn? What do you think it cost them to get the porn, the
Why
rights to the...
Why are you asking me this?
What do you think cost them? What do you think it cost them to get the rights to those porn clips? Do you think that was a lot of money, a little money?
Do you think they shot those porn clips especially for the movie?
I don't know.
I'm very curious because I love. Okay, we gotta talk about Sandler. When Sandler is opens the movie and he's just sneaking into his son's room because his internet's down or something.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his son's history, and he's just oh, what is this? And then he's just clicking on it. He's I wish I wrote down all the ridiculous things in it. Oh my god!
I don't understand what are you trying to say?
Just the names of all the porn sites that this kid was on. It was funny.
You should have screen capped that. You screen cap everything.
I should have. But I wrote down bearded Sandler loves you porn.
Ugh, that beard. Beard needs to go.
You didn't like his beard? I think this is his first beard film. Full beard.
I think he was trying to look like a dad, though, and kind of look awful.
It could be like a dad.
No, Kerry had problems with outfits for most of the people in this movie.
What?
Like when the mom, Adam Sandler's wife was taking pictures for Ashley Madison's website. I was like, God,
she
what?
just the way she sat up and just she
didn't even have her face,
it was just
and she looks awful.
Frumpy sweater.
Then she shows up for the date looking like a mom, and I took offense because I am a mom, and I'm like, ew, you're making moms look bad, lady.
She has very strong opinions.
Yeah,
I think you're a much younger mom who cares about her life right now.
Yeah, that's
she's at the edge of just complete I am in a void. My life is terrible.
Yeah, but when my life was terrible.
Yeah, but no, it's not that she's avoided life terrible. It's I don't know. She spent 15 years kind of giving up. Or 10 years kind of giving up, and you never...
Probably 15. That kid looks old.
I'm trying... No, he's still in high school, though.
But he's
Yeah, you never gave up, though, Kerry. That's sort of the difference here.
All right.
So she just stopped trying, which is why she wanted to go on the Ashley Madison stuff. Her and her husband stopped communicating. They both stopped trying.
Confused.
They both weren't attracted to each other.
Why don't you get a divorce then?
Do you know who the guy, her escort guy was?
The Allstate guy.
The Allstate guy. The president of 24.
Oh, yes, that's true. I told you he was a legitimate actor. He was also in some show called The Unit that lasted 3 episodes.
Ah, yes. That show... I remember it was on some cable access channel for they had all of the episodes of that show.
Yeah, why not, right?
Because
that's a good question. Let's talk about that, Kerry.
Yeah, why didn't they get a divorce?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. When I was unhappy, I got a divorce. So I just don't understand. I guess.
Well, I think they didn't before there were a couple years there where you didn't know you were unhappy, and had things broken differently, you might not have known.
But I didn't go on Ashley Madison. That would have been a sign that I was unhappy if I was going to go sleep with someone else.
And again, your marriage was sort of shorter. So you had
but I could have dragged it out for 15 years.
I know, but you had a lot less at stake, right? They've been there. They've already invested so much time. They're already much older. They already have 2 kids in high school. So for them, it's just kind of not as easy to walk away. And maybe it's not
cheat on each other, but live in the same house, which is totally fine.
I don't know. Maybe it's not even about that. Maybe there are other reasons.
They were bored, and I'm terrified of that ever happening. Getting so bored with someone. How do you know? How can you be with someone for 15, 20 years and not be bored of your routine?
Well, and I think that was a sub-theme of this movie, too, was sort of boredom, right? The one Dean Norris's wife leaves him for boredom and stuff like that.
Right, and then when Adam Sandler and his wife are, talking, it sounded like Adam Sandler's totally jealous of this guy whose wife just left him. He was like, but you can go hit whoever you want.
Yeah, right?
You should be happy.
The grass is always greener kind of thing.
Exactly. And just his wife was like, what kind of woman just leaves her family? But like when they pan to her face, she looks just so sad, and she looks like, I want to go to California.
Yes.
Do you know what I learned about Adam Sandler in this movie?
What?
He likes perky boobs. He does not like piercings or tattoos.
Yep.
Right.
Well, he wanted to look like that lady. So it was like so him and his son, they were sort of warped by the pornography they were viewing, and so they were sort of trying to relive that out, and that's why the one kid had a problem having sex with the other girl, because the stuff he was watching was like this weird abuse kind of stuff. Like, so he didn't know how to have proper intercourse.
Intense shit for like a little kid.
Yeah. So that sort of thing, like his brain was ruined. So there was, sex at high school was always this fumbling mess anyway, when everybody's starting out. So I could see him not kissing, but he was already so inept anyway, and he was so focused on trying to look like a normal person for this girl. You know, it makes sense that would be such an awkward scene. That's an okay scene to be awkward. That one's believable. The other one, it just feels very staged. And that doesn't even have that great resolution either. You know, she just throws a rock through the guy's window. I want to see what her relationship was with her dad. I mean, clearly he's okay because he came back and he fell asleep in that room. So we know he loved his daughter. Yeah, J.K. Simmons. We need more J.K. Simmons in movies, guys.
Oh, we're gonna get some soon. He's popping up and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but that's good.
Well,
What other thoughts do you have, Kerry?
I was so mad. I was so mad at Jennifer Garner with her daughter, and she, I forget what the ex-football kid texted. Something like, "Oh, it was nice talking to you today. It was the cutest thing ever," and that's when I yelled at the TV too.
That was the cutest thing ever. It was nice talking to you today.
Okay, it wasn't the cutest thing. It was super
That's
cute.
all it takes,
made
huh?
me warm and fuzzy inside. I'm so simple. Like, it's so simple to impress a girl, guys. So just say like cute things like that and don't come on too strong.
Okay.
Like, it was nice seeing you today. Perfect. Sends it. Jennifer Garner's mom gets it and deletes it. And all my notes, don't delete. So cute. This is so sad. She just deleted it. That's my notes, guys.
But also it's on that scene when we're talking about right forms of communication, wrong forms of communication. This could be an interesting debate too, because of a comment you had said, right? When he starts off with the big long text.
Yeah.
Where he's like sort of spilling his
and
guts.
I was like, that's so awesome.
And you loved it, and then he changed it, and you were like, don't change it. And then you saw it and you go, all right, well, I guess that's safer.
Well, it was safer.
But
so we went from super sweet. I forget exactly what he said. Something.
Yeah, he's talking about like his mom, or maybe leaving, or like being.
He said he's not that interesting. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
But he was just super honest.
Yeah.
And honesty can scare girls.
Yes.
In the beginning.
Well, so that's sort of the thing. That's sort of this right form of communication versus wrong form of communication.
Right.
Right? Like, he was there trying to be honest, and what he ended up doing was encapsulating it into this sort of cliched line. So he kind of had to hold back until near the end of the movie. But there's this sort of dance that we dance with other people.
We have to dance. Okay.
Why do we have to dance?
We have to dance because there is this, from that person that texted me last week that I saw, and he was way too honest. It freaked me out, and I was just like, I'm not ready for this. And he was like, don't run, we can do this. And then I was like, goodbye.
Don't run.
Like,
metaphorically.
He was so honest. He was just so I guess you have to do the dance because you honestly don't know how the other person feels. And if I was into him, then I would have fully loved what he said.
Yes.
But I wasn't into him.
So because he doesn't know that, he should be dancing.
He needs to dance the dance until he knows.
So we accept that in our society we kind of have to do these weird little unwritten rules. But should we? Should that be the way society should be?
We should take this waltz. Leonard Cohen just passed away. R.I.P.
All right, thank you, Joe. All right, Kerry,
we
you were going
have
to
to
say
dance
something?
the dance because then if someone you're really, I think if someone you're really into is honest, it might be like, it might freak the other person out, like this is moving too fast.
But why would it freak them out? Right, in this like this perfect world where we can sort of communicate openly with each other, why would that freak them out? Or they could then say, all right, this kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I guess
here's
you're
why.
Right. I guess you're right. So, okay, we should just be honest.
It doesn't sound like you believe me, though, Kerry.
No, you're right. I'm trying to like relate it to my own life right now and see how I would feel if that happened.
What do you think?
I don't know. Emotions are so complex.
Wow.
Oh, there's the theme of this movie. Emotions, they're like a thing. What are you going to do?
This movie really spoke to you.
She had a lot. She was very excited to talk about this movie today.
There is one scene that I will love.
Yeah.
I think is the reason why I didn't mind didn't hate watch this. The scene where She's Gone by Hall & Oates plays when Adam Sandler is in the lobby waiting for the escort. Oh, I love that song.
Oh, yes. You just like the song?
It's a great song, so if it's in something, I'll like it a little more. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, no one else feels that way.
No, I don't. Listen, Hall & Oates fine, I guess. Whatever. But there was the sadness in that scene was that they were...
so awkward.
Was that the couple was kind of... Like, the two couples, Adam Sandler's affair and his wife's affair. Who was his wife's?
Rosemary DeWitt.
Rosemary DeWitt. Was she in something?
She famous.
She was in things that I like.
What? Like what?
She's in the United States Tarot. She's in Your Sister's Sister. She's in other things, but those are the two things I really like.
Oh, okay. All right. So both of those couples are having conversations, and and Adam Sandler and his wife are kind of finishing each other's sentences, but in separate, climates. So it's like unfortunate that those people do have that means of communicating. They're just not using it appropriately. So it helps to further that distance that they are speaking the same language just separately. It's very unfortunate. And I want to talk about them in the bed together playing what'd you call it? What was that game called?
Words.
Words with Friends.
Yes, this movie.
Hold on. Do you remember what the words were? Oh,
I think one of them was SAG.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler was SAG.
I've had on the end of her word, and it was.
I've had discussions about that image with some people, and I've heard both cases for it being a nice way for a couple to bond, and for a sad way.
I think the movie was trying to make it sad.
Yeah. What do you think as a person? So I don't have any of that technology, so it's beyond me. I don't know what that's like. But what do you feel?
Yeah, but as coming from someone who was married in a relationship, living together, it honestly, I didn't find it wouldn't be sad if me and my husband would be playing electronically next to each other on the couch. I mean, there's only so much you can talk about every single day. I think it's totally fine to bond through your silly little electronic games. It's better than being in two separate rooms not talking.
There is that, but I don't know. There's also the argument that maybe you could find a way to play some sort of thing or do some sort of thing together that doesn't involve the two screens separating the two people. Well,
it'd be nice if you wanted to play chess together or cards together.
I mean, they're already playing what look like Scrabble to me, so they could just be at a table and playing Scrabble.
Well, what's the difference? Why is technology have such a...
Because here's what I think based on some of the plots in this movie and sort of the virtualness of the digital age, is that it makes us think a world is, and sort of the pale blue dot thing too, it makes us think that a world is real when it isn't necessarily there.
Right, that's a theme.
It makes us think that we're engaging with somebody when we may not actually be doing that. We may think, all right, I put this thing on the Facebook page, so I think I have communicated with them, but it's just ones and zeros and pixels, and so there's not any interaction happening. But we think we're fine, and they think they're fine, so we kind of continue to drift apart, and nobody cares.
One person might not think they're fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to play the chess and the Scrabble. Yeah. I don't like Scrabble, but the card games, I always suggested that to my husband, and he was just like, nah. So I just think people do make wrong.
But they think, but that might have been a portent of something wrong there. Do you think not?
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. So maybe, I think there are those people that do want to play Scrabble together, though, on their iPads, and those people should be together. Yeah. And they'll have shitty relationships.
But there might be a reason for that. There might be a reason why they feel is a more comfortable way of interacting with each other, even when they're in the same room. If you're if you're apart or you're at work or something, and it's a way you want to stay in touch with if your husband's on a business trip or something, maybe that makes some sense there. It lets you connect when you're far away, but when you're right there, I don't know, that's sort of like this precious gift when they're right there next to you. Why not take advantage of it?
Introverts unite.
But if you're both introverts, you should at some point get comfortable around each other, and that would be a good way to do it.
I don't know why people, I don't know if it's a personality thing or if it's they think if it's a social norm thing, or I don't even think people thought that there was anything wrong with it. They probably didn't think there's anything wrong with it. That is the problem.
So so Adam Sandler and Mrs. DeWitt, they're there playing. I can't remember her first name. I keep thinking Joyce from Three's Company.
Rosemary.
No, okay. And Adam Sandler and Rosemary DeWitt are on the bed playing Scrabble. They think they're okay. They think they're fine, even though they're having these fantasies and these things in their head that they're not acting on until. But then at some point, when the opportunity presents itself, they do act on it. And even then, they sort of don't know anything's wrong because they're enjoying themselves and they're having their fun until he discovers the website and she sees him there.
I mean, they probably, in their mind, had to have known they were doing
somewhere
something
deep, yeah,
wrong.
but so that's sort of like a subconscious thing.
That's why he was so nervous when he meets the escort, and that's why
I think he's nervous because I think he just, like, it's something that he wasn't used to. He didn't know the right way to do it.
I think
he seems
probably
like
felt a little wrong if he has any
seems
morals.
like a cuck. Is that what you're going to say?
No. What? A cook?
A cuck.
A cuck? What is that?
Let's move on.
All right. No. I don't. She didn't feel like it was wrong, and I don't think he felt like it was wrong. I think he just didn't know what to do. And then at the end, what does he want from the prostitute more than anything? Like the sex doesn't last long. He just wants her head on his shoulder.
Loves cuddling.
He just wants that feeling of intimacy. Yes. So he gets it from this woman he's paying to do it. So like that's the virtualness of that transaction.
You know what? I'm gonna add nothing to this.
I think
I have a. Okay, sorry.
I think that another theme is that people. Honestly, everyone is ignoring each other with technology and doing their Scrabbles on their iPads, but people do just want to cuddle and be together and feel loved and don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think ignoring is the wrong way, because I think when you present that argument, people are like, no, it brings us together. I have friends in Greece I would never get to talk to, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's great for your friends in Greece.
That's why I'm making the argument that it's not sort of ignoring per se, it's just, it's letting us be lazy with our communication. It's setting up that it's okay for this wrong kind of communication versus this right kind of communication.
I don't know why he just wouldn't hold his wife, though, in bed, if that's what he wanted.
Because I think he felt like his wife wasn't anywhere near him anymore, and she might have felt the same way.
Not physically. They were right next to each other.
Yes, thank you, Joe. So I think that's what it is. Like, and she's trying to, like, say that at the end, where, like, we just did blah, 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 like all the cliched stuff that they had known but didn't discuss or realize to themselves. And so, like, being next to each other didn't feel like anything because neither of them were there.
No, I totally get that.
So that's all. And Adam Sandler's speech at the end of this movie, which I remember the first time watching it, it felt like this very forgiving thing where he's just like, listen, I fucked up, you fucked up. Let's just move on and let's try harder with each other.
Oh, is that what you think it meant?
That's what I thought it meant the first time.
Okay.
This time, there was definitely a lot more anger in there, I thought. But it was a lot more subtle, too, so he kind of earned his acting chops here. He got to rub those guys. But I think he wanted to move. I think he wanted to do what I thought he wanted the first time. I think it was just a much more realistic... Like, he would still be angry. He would still be upset at himself and at her, and that they both let it kind of get out of hand like this.
It was really nice of him to tell her that he screwed up, too.
Yeah.
Because it would have been very easy for him not to say.
Yeah, he could have lied the whole time.
Could have made her feel like crap.
No. So I think these two people still love each other. I think they...
Well...
Right? You don't. That's interesting.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let's explore that.
Well, I don't think they love each other, and I think that
why don't you
they're
think
probably going to live together in the same house but screw other people. That's probably what I think is going to happen.
Why don't you think they love each other?
Oh my God, that's such a... Well, he was just like, okay, what do you want at the very end? What do you want on your eggs? Like, we don't have to talk about us cheating on each other. Just tell me what you want on your eggs. So I know he cares about her.
Yeah.
He'll make her breakfast and like they have kids together. But I think there's a real big difference between caring for someone and actually loving them and having intimate relationships.
Yeah, so I don't think the breakfast thing is like him trying to skirt it on the rug. I think that the thing is sort of like tabula. I think it's like a tabula rasa. Like we both have had some bad years here, clearly. So I think this is the first time I've seen him cook for her. So maybe this is him like saying, "All right, well, I'm gonna try. This is me trying right here. I want to give you what you want. Tell me what you want, and I'll be happy to do that for you."
I don't know.
Okay, I've been wanting to say this for a while.
Turkey bacon, yeah.
Not turkey bacon.
That's what he was asking. Go on.
So right at the beginning of the movie, Ansel Elgort's character, he's the young boy that you liked.
Okay.
He is called into the principal's office. And by the window, there's just this prominent shot. Like the center frame is just an action figure, like hanging on the windowsill.
Yeah.
Like inside the shutters, and every time they cut back to Ansel Elgort's character, you could just see. I should have screenshot this too because I would have showed it to you.
Yeah.
And it's just a naked action figure, and it took me out of the movie. I think
what are you talking about, Joe?
I'm telling you. You
do focus on background things instead of
I mean, he's already seen the movie, so he has that luxury, but...
Yes.
And sounds like he was getting kind of bored through it, too.
Ooh.
Yeah,
it was pretty
so his
boring,
eyes
so.
sort of drifting.
They drifted onto this
I don't know
figure.
about the naked action. I have no idea. I didn't see it.
We can pull it up on the Hulu thing. I'll show you.
We'll watch it at the end. I don't need to look at it now.
I mean, it's
That's
crazy.
what you've been wanting to talk about? You want to talk about the naked action figure?
It really, I wanted to write it down because I remembered it. I was like, I gotta write this down.
Okay.
It's very prominent in the shot.
Did you see it, Kerry?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I'm glad you brought it up.
very intense viewing modes.
It was nice that this movie touched on so many different people. So it was like what it's like from a high schooler's point of view, what it's like from a mom's point of view, what it's like from someone who's going through a separation, what it's like from someone who had a baby, didn't even know the baby daddy.
Yeah.
It touched on so many different people.
Oh, speaking of babies.
Yeah.
When she had that weird pregnancy thing where she didn't know she was pregnant.
Yes, the little blonde girl.
Yes, too skinny to have a baby because she
Yeah,
almost
because she
killed herself.
doesn't eat herself. Eat food. Yep.
What about it?
Oh, you just wanted to
Just intense.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never heard of someone
Well,
like
she
that.
should have used a condom. PSA. Use a condom, you won't get pregnant.
You can't
but
get
she
pregnant
really
on the
wanted the
first
boy to
time.
like her,
That's the
Kerry.
dumbest thing.
That's the problem here.
Well, I guess I don't know how to teach people self-esteem in high school,
You're supposed to do that?
but
They do that all the time.
well,
and
obviously it doesn't work
clearly.
very well.
They-
Didn't work for me either.
Yeah.
I have a note. Wish I was ballsier in high school.
No, so Kerry is referring to
That's
when
all something
when
that
Dennis
wish.
Leary's daughter kisses Adam Sandler's son, like at
I
the
was gonna say
football
Adam Sandler.
game.
Yeah,
remember
and
that.
I was like,
He's like, oh, I wish I did that. But Kerry doesn't think that Adam Sandler's son would even get with Dennis Leary's daughter.
No, the casting was, he did not look like a cute football player when he was at his house
he
looking
looked
at
like
porn.
an ugly, homely
he
football
looked-
Too
player
small to be a
that
football
does
player.
not
Yeah.
deserve love.
Yeah, he should have
Yeah.
been like.
He should have been a troll under a bridge.
He should have been one of those guys
Taking a
playing
toll.
the game that the other football player was playing. Like he should.
Right, they should have switched.
Yeah.
Because he was cute.
That guy was cute, and
I
Adam
don't know, I
Sandler's
think he
son
was
wasn't.
just so, I don't know.
You
honestly,
just thought he had adorable
right,
texts
I don't
and adorable
know if
pickup
he
lines.
Was, honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know if he was super cute or if he just, I really liked his personality.
Listen, Joe, it sounded like that pickup line super duper works. Because it
I
worked on
remember-
Kerry
I
in a
remember it
two-dimensional
now.
plane with a high school student. So
Yeah.
What was the line again?
he's like,
Atoms are going to crunch into nothing someday, so it's not a big deal of anything I do in life, except talking to you is a big
yeah,
deal.
so
That is a paragraph.
So no. Find some girl you like. Sit
sit
near
at the
her.
table.
Sit near
I
her.
like
She'll
them
be like, "What's
all."
going on?" And find a way to get that conversation to Pale Blue Dot. Because
Well,
every
he
time it came
didn't-
up in the movie, it came out of
He
nowhere.
didn't even talk when he sat down at the table. He
Yeah.
literally kept eating his chicken nuggets, didn't even talk to this girl.
That's
and she's
true.
like,
yeah.
what's up?
I
And he
think,
was like, hey.
Yeah.
I think if I
Sup, bro?
But he
told,
played it cool.
Play it cool, Joe.
Play it cool, don't
Play
be
it cool.
nervous. Another PSA, guys.
There's so many wise lessons in this episode. I love it.
I mean,
Just be cool, don't be nervous.
Lev,
Chill.
can we get those online at the end? We'll just put down like Kerry's bullet
yourself.
points.
Just be yourself.
just be
You'll
yourself.
kill it.
Just BYS.
And just
Yes.
be
BYS.
sweet, guys. Just be sweet. And don't play hard to get. Don't play games. But
We were
don't
just
be,
talking about how the games
don't
are okay
be
to
too,
play.
Yeah, but
So
don't
you're
be
putting
too.
some mixed messages here, Kerry.
I know.
Yeah.
This is why it's so hard. Don't be too honest.
Yeah.
Are you saying
But
dating's
don't
hard?
lie.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Are you saying dating's hard?
Dating is hard.
I think everybody would agree with that. So let's just another quick thing I want to talk about with. So we have the Pale Blue Dot where the guy's talking about the world's not real and blah 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 things like that. So he plays his virtual video game of another world that's not real, and you get a common criticism from older people and people that don't play video games, like myself, at the video game people, like a lot of people I know, that's not real. Why are you wasting time with it? But then you're thinking, because when you go back to the Pale Blue Dot, well, what makes is our world any more real than that world? So is it wrong for them to enjoy that time there if we enjoy our time here? When Jennifer Garner's going on about talking about how that world doesn't exist, does our world exist anymore? Like, I don't know.
Well, Jennifer Garner, the world she created, would want to be in her world.
No wonder Ben Affleck left.
Oh man, let's not do that.
Yeah.
That feels a little too soon.
Not soon enough.
Jennifer Garner, she
I don't
always
know what you're talking
plays
about.
the character where she's like Miss Perfect, just like in Juno. She was like the perfect mom, the like.
Oh yeah, another Jason Reitman holdover. She was in that Butter movie too, where she had like a similar role, right?
Yeah, she
Did you
always.
see Butter?
Yeah, I saw Butter.
I can't believe you saw Butter. And you won't go see Moonlight?
I might see Moonlight if it's on Netflix, but it was on Netflix.
So yeah, wouldn't want to live in Jennifer Garner's world.
Yeah.
Because she becomes a crazy control freak and she's wrapped up in her daughter's text messages and passwords and constantly checking her emails, making sure she's not getting into trouble, just worried all the time. There was interesting though, because when Brandy's her daughter. Brandy went and said, I'm going to this girl's house to watch a movie, so she left her phone at a friend's house in case her mom called.
Smart.
That is
and she went out.
No, smart.
That is smart.
I would have done that.
Yeah, so, but then she went out and saw the adorable kid, and they just sat on rocks and just like watched a waterfall while they just like held hands.
So this is again right communication versus wrong communication. They're not saying anything in that scene,
literally,
but they are so much more connected than all other characters.
I wrote the note, Brandy and VGG. What did that mean? Why did I say VGG?
Video game guy.
Video game guy. Yeah.
You didn't know his name.
I said they don't talk much.
Yeah.
But it's okay. They don't need to talk.
To.
They just want to feel that connection that they have with each other. Mm-hmm. So again, guys, don't be nervous if you have nothing to talk about. Just
show, don't tell.
No, but you should be able to say, like, it's not like just say nothing and stand there and be awkward. Like,
no, but
you can use more than words to communicate.
Right, and you should try and feel feelings and slow down and just sit and hold hands and watch a waterfall.
Yeah, just be in that moment. Just be present with the person that's next to you.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how long they're going to be there for.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, we kind of digress from my point a little bit. Brandy leaves her phone at her friend's house.
Yes. Yep.
And then she gets back and gets her phone, and she was like, your mom didn't call. Her friend says your mom didn't call. And she's like, really? And it kind of like freaked Brandy out.
No, like she was worried something happened to her mom now. Like that behavior had been instilled in her.
Right. Or I didn't know if she felt less loved. Like, oh my God, does my mom not care about me anymore? Mm-hmm. Which I thought. And then I thought, what would it feel like to constantly be watched and tracked and to know someone always knows where you are? That must be like a weird feeling to always have. I wouldn't want to do that to my child. Like, to always feel, like, uncomfortable. Yeah. And always have to, like... Kids are smarter than parents, I'm sure.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's like nature...
Don't sell yourself short.
Like what Jeff Goldblum says, like, nature finds a way.
No,
like
right.
As a kid that also kind of had a lot of rules placed on what you're forced to do is find ways around them.
Right. That's what I mean by kids are smarter. So Brandy was smarter. She found ways to go around all the crazy tracking. Mm-hmm. So really, there was no point in Jennifer Garner to go cray-cray because...
Well, she doesn't know that though, right?
But she wanted control and she wanted to feel
like it'll be different. Like when what is her name? What is the daughter's name?
Brandy.
When Brandy is an adult and has
who's
her kids,
watching this movie
and has her kids growing up and then also digital age because Brandy's lived through it. But Jennifer Garner, this is sort of a whole new world for her. What's not her childhood, so she doesn't quite know what the new rules are. You know, that's Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
that's the narrator's lament of Adam Sandler not being able to pass on porn magazines to his son. It's sort of this epochal transition that's happening in our society that we're sort of past a breaking point now.
Yeah, but a lot of people can deal with their kids texting and emailing.
No, a lot of people can. I'm just saying, I'm not.
She was
I don't know.
extreme.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised with this behavior, and there will be people like this because that's sort of the way people. That's a reaction that's plausible.
Jennifer Garner's going to hate herself when her kid's out of college, living her own life. She won't be able to control anything. She won't know what to do with herself.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's this short-term versus long-term thing, and her husband's just going to be like,
I know, and the husband too.
Let's
the husband's just
time.
like, stop reading those texts.
Yeah.
Can we just like watch a show?
Or the husband
Drink
wants to communicate with her, right? So Jennifer Garner's reading is like looking at every bit of Brandy's communication, but doesn't know her daughter very well.
Yeah, and she just is like, she's like, I'm your mom. I don't care if you hate me.
See, they're not communicating either. It's very unfortunate.
Do you know which group was left out of this movie?
Which one?
The old generation group. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but they're not in the technology.
The baby boomers. Talking about the Chevy Chases.
Yeah, I'm sure they're very upset about that.
Yeah, they're not going to watch this movie.
I'm sure they knew this movie existed.
No, you don't even know. They love their tablets. You've got no idea.
Really?
Oh, they do. They play their poker and their...
They love their
Mahjong,
tablets.
things like that.
Things that they used to play with on board games.
Board games are not playing tablets.
They love their tablets.
Okay, I did not know that. That's interesting.
So because this movie didn't educate you.
Make that. No, I wasn't well educated.
We're going to make an old people, men, women, and children.
Right.
We'll call it old
men,
people.
women, and old children.
Old children.
All right, so we talked about the video game stuff for a little bit. So Judy Greer, the show mom, and she takes down her daughter's website, says it's for her own good. Do you believe that?
Yes. God.
All right, so the
Wasn't she questioning it at like one of those meetings?
yeah. So
She knew it was wrong.
She knew it
That's
was wrong.
Why she was at the meeting.
She was trying to, yeah.
Like right at the beginning when she's taking a picture
Yeah.
of her, she's
She
just like
felt
has this like,
awful.
because Judy Greer is
It's
an
not right at the
amazing
beginning, but
actress.
it's a little bit in there, so that doesn't happen. And, as she starts to meet Dean Norris, she's like, "Well, this feels a little weird." So then when Dean Norris deletes his son's video game character for his own good, is that for his own good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
don't care.
I don't play video games. But I do think that he needs to live in the real world. He shouldn't live in his reality world.
The real
and this
world?
goes back to the original.
The
So
RL.
is our world more real than that world, than the video game? If our world's barely real, what makes that world less real?
I think, honestly,
Whoa.
okay, it probably helped him to play the video games because his mom left him. He needed an outlet for happiness, but he was being consumed by it. I think everything in life you need to,
Moderation?
yes.
His friends were kind of dicks,
very
though.
cliche. Everything
They're
in
not
moderation.
internet friends. Listen, I don't know. I don't spend any time on that, but from what I gather, that seems to be kind of the culture. Like because they don't know each other
know
that
what?
well, you don't really get intimate.
You know
Bad
what?
communication versus good communication.
I'm sure this kid wants
Yeah.
to be with Brandy more than he wants to play with his video game bros. So I think most people would rather be, when they find that person that they feel happy with,
Yeah.
they would rather be with them than play the video games.
So then why do you think
So-
he got so upset when that character was deleted?
Well, I think he didn't know how to deal with all the emotions he was feeling. He would have to feel feelings now. He
You're
would
right.
have to deal with his mom leaving. He can't escape that. He would have to do it in a healthier. I don't know if it's healthy.
How fast was she getting remarried? It seemed like she was like.
I don't know when she left. When did she leave?
I don't know.
I don't
And
think
who
they
knows
actually
when
said.
She might have left because she was
thought she
already
left, like,
seeing.
last week.
She might have left because she was already seeing
what
that
kind
guy.
of mom does that? What kind of selfish, awful person
Especially
leaves their
when
kid?
her son was like 16
Yeah,
or
I
something.
totally get it. If you want to get a
messed up.
divorce, you want to leave your husband, you're unhappy, but don't leave your kid, or like go get remarried, but
Don't involve your.
don't go 7 states away
Yeah.
and ignore who blocks their kid on Facebook.
I think it was just like those. She didn't want to see the wedding stuff. She didn't want to upset them.
Don't ever leave your kid.
Don't ever leave your kid.
Yeah.
That's.
say.
Can we put that on the rules? Carrie's rules. Don't leave your child.
Don't be a dick. Don't leave your kid. That's so sad. He's gonna be screwed up for forever. He must feel so worthless and not loved and not worth anything.
Yeah.
That's really sad, and no one should ever make their child feel that way.
Yeah, it's much worse when it happens later in life, when you don't grow up around it, because then it feels even weirder. It's a little more surreal because, I don't know.
Because you don't know what it should
when
feel
you get
like.
when you get to like a high school age, that's just, I don't know, when parents get divorced or they leave, it's like when you're 4 or 5, when it's early on, like, I don't know, at some point, like, you're almost there,
Yeah, she could have just waited till he went to college,
Could have
maybe.
done that and said, all right, now that you're older and mature, me and my husband, me and your father were not happy together, things like that. But also, like, you have, especially in high school and middle school, you have so many awful feelings and hormones and everything. It's
Right,
the
you
worst
already
time
hate
ever.
yourself.
So that's like, and you're self-aware enough to be able to take that blame on yourself.
Yeah.
As opposed to just doing it subconsciously when you're younger, so that can manifest itself in unpleasant ways. Yeah, it can do. It can do some harm.
Did we get to the bottom of why Sandler might have chosen this movie?
So I had my grown-ups theory where like he just kind of also believes in this anti-technology stance or bad communication stance. But what do you guys think?
I don't know why actors take movies.
I think he wanted to challenge himself a little bit. Something.
You having technical issues here?
What does that sound, guys?
Someone downstairs? Oh, the beeping?
No,
You're beeping.
Oh, they're like.
Oh, someone.
Vacuuming?
Maybe.
Vacuuming, pencil sharpener.
I think it might be outside. It might be like a leaf blower. I'm just gonna turn everything down.
I think.
Get your guy on it. What's his name?
Lev.
Lev.
Can you handle that? Can you get rid of that?
Go outside and tell the guy to stop blowing his leaves.
Leaf blower
Doing
noise.
important things
He can't
here.
go outside. He's gonna stay monitor the boards.
Some studio we have can't even get rid of a leaf blower.
We're doing the best we can.
Find an assistant.
We had Jiminy for a bit.
Jimmy
the
was
intern.
great.
We had the intern for a bit.
It was great.
It's unfortunate. I'll talk to Emerson. I'll get another one. He'll be fine.
You just have them on call.
They have them. What? That's their program. They like when the alum come for the interns.
I just love how they are willing to throw their interns to our burgeoning.
Oh, that's fine. That's not, he's not a full-time intern. He can still intern elsewhere.
Okay.
It's okay. Just come for the experience.
I think Sandler was kind of wanted to challenge himself, but not wanting to do a full commitment on the movie. He was like,
No,
He was only in 10 scenes.
No, I know. Maybe it could fit into a schedule, so he accepted the project. Right? What did he do before this? Blended, and then what was after it?
Oh, what did he do before this? He was working on 5 movies at this time.
Yeah, so he's sneaking this one in there.
He was just finishing up Blended. He was working on The Cobbler. He was working on The Ridiculous Six. He had to do his voice work for Hotel Transylvania 2.
Oh, the voice work will take a couple days, whatever. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
He really has to get into that Dracula.
Oh, I do not look forward to doing that movie. All right. So maybe that's why he took it, because he wanted to do this project, so he was okay with the smaller role because he could fit it in, or he believed in the project that much. Kerry, you don't really know, so that's fine. Do you have any thoughts? Maybe. Okay, no. That's fine. Kerry, any last thoughts? Any last things you really wanted to bring up?
No, I went through my whole notes. No.
Okay.
Wow. I already got all my PSAs out there.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Takeaways, guys.
Takeaways.
Be honest, but not too honest.
Don't be a dick. Hang on to your kid.
Yeah, don't leave your kid.
Don't leave the kid.
No, but really, just be sweet to girls.
Only girls.
Yeah. Don't be sweet. Don't be sweet to people. Just girls you want to bone.
In relation to this movie, or ones you just want to cuddle with and hold hands with and just feel a connection with.
Yeah. So that could be people in general, though.
All right, people. Fine. Be nice to people.
The feelings are strong.
Fine. Be nice to people. That's the lesson from Kerry Howell today. All right. So you have any thoughts before we go? Any last thoughts going around? Any last thoughts?
Don't be a crazy psycho mom. Don't put inappropriate pictures of your children on the internet.
I feel like you shouldn't have to say that, but here we are.
I just think you need to find a happy medium. Don't be crazy, overprotective, but still protect your kids. Just make sure you show your kids you love them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We gotta figure out what that action figure was doing. Why was he in that scene?
No, we don't.
I really want to get to the bottom of why that. There had to be a reason why it's hanging. It just looks like someone placed it right there in between the shutters. We need to get to the bottom of it. Also, Hall & Oates, good song to throw in there. She's Gone. Really dig that one. And we figured out Jason Reitman's porn site, YouPorn.
YouPorn.
Yeah, he went on there a lot. For his sites that he...
Yeah. Is that a real site?
It's a real site.
Oh, okay. They were using it as a porn site, so I don't see why you wouldn't be able to use it. They're using it the way it's meant to be. All right, so for me,
Patrick, what are your last thoughts?
Trace the career of Adam Sandler, this feels like an even weirder blip than I originally thought before we began the podcast, and I knew what movies he was doing.
What would this movie be in his repertoire?
What do you mean?
I don't know. What would categorize it? This is his Showtime. Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy in Showtime.
That's not what I categorize. That's an analogy.
You're better with words.
Okay. I don't know what this. This just seems to be this. I can't even call it a passion project because it's not his. This movie has nothing to do with him.
Passion in this.
There's nothing to do with him or Happy Madison. Yeah. I always like it when Adam Sandler pushes himself. So, he did the best he could with limited material.
Back movie we're looking forward to.
That's true, right? So we get these movies every now and then. I don't know why he picked now.
Title
maybe he just, I don't know, he'd done all these grown-up movies, he'd done these Hotel Transylvania movies, he'd done these romantic comedies, and he just wanted something a little different to just fresh it up, and it would only take a couple of days out of his life anyway, so... And then he goes back and does whatever The Cobbler will be. So, there you go. Yeah?
Yes.
This feels like spoilers. Don't tell me anything. I like to go on blind to these things. So I guess, I don't know, maybe as think of him as the father, like everybody we talk to that meets him, talks about him being such a good dad. Maybe that's in his mind. He doesn't want his children to kind of grow up like that.
He doesn't think he's a good dad, though.
He doesn't think he's a good dad?
Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't think that about himself?
No, in the very beginning when he was looking at the
No, I'm talking about real life.
Always go back to the beginning.
I'm talking about in real life.
I forgot
people we've talked to and people we've read about. People, who've met Adam Sandler.
He's probably an awesome dad.
Yeah, that's what they're all saying. Adam Sandler's like this really likable guy, so maybe he's really worried about his kids growing up in this digital world and kind of wants to have some sort of understanding of what the dangers are in this new
I wouldn't
age.
let my kids watch this movie.
Right, so something like Eddie Murphy says he does like terrible movies now because he wants movies his kids can see, and Adam Sandler does bedtime stories for the same reason. Maybe
Eddie Murphy's kids have grown up. He needs to start making better movies.
Maybe Adam Sandler's doing this movie because he wants something his kids can see and learn from and grow from. Maybe that's why he did this project.
I wouldn't let my kid watch that movie.
Why not?
Well, it's
he doesn't
very
show his
inappropriate
wiener.
scenes. It was rated R.
That is true. It was rated R.
Plus, I would rather teach them the life lessons myself than have them waste 2 hours of their life watching this movie.
Okay.
I'm not a big proponent
You're not-
of movies
definitely doesn't seem to be
anyway. I
that.
don't
It's
want
okay.
my kids to be sitting around watching movies
Yeah.
anyway during the day.
Okay.
Unless it's nighttime
No,
and they want to lay
that's
on me.
a very
That's
sound
totally
parenting
fine.
theory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd rather teach them life lessons than have them learn them from
So
TV.
I guess then the argument for me as a filmmaker would be sometimes it's easier to get that life lessons across not from a parent but from like a medium where your ego is engaging with the screen itself.
Yeah, that
so
is
it's like
true.
you live
Yeah,
through it.
you're right.
That's all. But there is a danger in movies too. There's good communication and then there's bad communication.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all. Sometimes a movie like Bride Wars can teach you a life lesson here.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
What? Is this one of your movies you've seen?
No, I've never even heard of Bride
You
Wars.
did. I don't think maybe it's not called that. You did. You saw it in like maybe 2008, 2009.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
We got another
about
movie
it?
to talk about?
Oh,
We got
I
one more
don't want to get into the depths of your past on the podcast.
Oh. All right,
But
we'll chat later.
that was for me. That was eye opening because you came to me this movie that I'd been making fun of every time I saw a trailer, which just seemed like they were setting up just these two brides to fight each other at the end of the movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you watched it, and you had this like epiphany from watching this what was clearly a bad movie, but you gained something from it anyway. So even when a movie's not trying to communicate, an audience member can still take something good away if they're in the right headspace and willing to give up something of themselves.
A movie that I can definitely say that I know you've seen is Step Brothers.
I love Step Brothers. I didn't really learn any life lessons. Well, I guess you're not supposed to judge people because they could end up being lots of fun.
There's a great life lesson
Never
there,
smack
Carrie.
your balls on drums. Or your brother's drums.
Not the life lesson. I
Yeah,
think.
I feel like guys should know that anyway.
All right,
learning.
yeah, we'll get into it.
We're
All right,
learning.
fine,
We're
thank you.
learning.
All right, thank you for listening, everybody. Thanks to our sponsor, The Refuge. Definitely a great store. Go try them out. Go try the food. They're Carrie approved. All right, thanks to Lev for audio maven of our dreams. Thanks to Carrie for helping us out and
Hey,
coming in
thanks for
today.
listening, guys.
All right, thanks to Jumpin' Joe Vekeman for coming on down and being a part of this. You can find him on www.springseverywhere.com. If you need a spring, springs are there. Just go buy them up. I'm Patrick Scale. You can find us at www.quixoticunited.com. Find our shorts, our features. We have an animated show coming out. And thank you all for watching. I'm Patrick Scale. Say goodnight, Joe.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Really? Did you stick in there?
All right, she did.
Maybe it was too long.
It was long. I saw it was like 2 hours.
Yeah, I knew we
I
were.
thought it
I knew
was
we were in
longer,
for a
though.
fun night then.
Yeah.
Very good. So, Carrie, I'm going to be looking this way a lot because that's the way the mic is oriented, but it's not like I'm not talking to you.
Why can't you orient them? Oh, it's attached to the desk.
It's attached to the desk. Yeah,
All right.
it's a mic stand. So that's all.
All
But I'll still. But none of the other guests have felt like we've been shoving them out. So don't feel like that, and we'll be including you a lot. So it's okay.
Thank you.
All
For
right.
including me.
Right now, today,
Yeah.
more than other days, it really feels like we're on like
Yeah.
one of those jam jock radio shows with the positioning of the microphones, like those
yeah.
morning zoos.
I dig this. I could do this every weekend.
Carrie's got opinion. She's ready to go. All right, real quick though, before we begin.
We have a sponsor.
An interest? No. Oh yeah. Is there a company you like?
No.
Is there a place you like
It's
to
not a
shop?
trick question.
It's like a brand that you go to more than others.
No.
Of nothing.
You know, there's this great cafe called
Yeah.
Refuge Cafe, Alston.
Alston,
Shout out to
love
them.
it. Great.
Refuge
Okay.
Cafe.
I like them too.
We'll do that. Before we begin, though, an interesting question was posed to me this week that I wanted to ask you guys as well. Who would you pick to be your television parents?
Oh,
Which TV characters would you pick to be your parents? They don't have to be parents on a TV show, but keep in mind, you don't know how they would be as parents if they're not parents.
Very topical this week.
All right, so Joe, who would be your TV mom?
Don't put me. I mean,
this is hard. I need time to think about this.
Can we come back to this at the end?
Okay.
I just need some time. But yes, question is posed, and I will think.
All
about
right,
it.
I'll add it to I'll add to the beginning in editing. Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good.
I mean, we could just do it at the end and have a big tease. That'd be fun.
We're gonna do it right in the beginning.
All right.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
All right. Okay, now we're pausing. Now we're pretending like we haven't done the whole episode yet.
All right, I've been thinking this whole time.
Okay.
Celebrity mom. Okay, my dad wants.
Yeah.
I want that dad from the movie yesterday, the bald guy.
You want J.K. Simmons?
I want him
you
to
want
be my
J.K.
dad.
Simmons' character from this movie?
No Whiplash, right?
Yes. Well,
want-
not this. Like
We're not
in
doing movies.
Juno.
We're not doing movies. We're doing TV.
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 Fuck, I don't watch TV.
You've grown up watching no TV.
Wait, we can only do TV.
Yeah.
So okay.
I
got
love
TV
the
moms and
Modern
dads.
Family mom.
All right, hold on.
Julia Bowen.
The blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in an Adam Sandler movie. I still don't believe it, but it was her in Happy Gilmore. Okay, so you would like her as a mom?
I'm gonna be a little more progressive and say I want John Goodman and Bryan Cranston to be my 2K dads.
Oh, that is progressive.
Who's
Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle?
Malcolm in the Middle.
And John Goodman from Roseanne?
Yes.
All right.
You know
Well,
me.
who would your TV dad? Who would your TV dad be, Kerry?
That's so hard, guys. What do I watch? I watch shows that I shouldn't have these people's dad. Like, I watch Grey's Anatomy. Don't really want to have a doctor
You don't
as a
want
dad.
McDreamy to be your father?
They all
No,
died, though, right?
he doesn't look like loving and like.
Does not look
Well, he
loving.
just seems cold and he's always working. So I don't want that as a
Okay,
dad.
that's a smart thing to think. Yep.
And then I watch How to Get Away with Murder. There's no good dads in that show.
What do you watch? What was that?
ABC.
What are you watching that show on HBO? What was that show?
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. Who do you want?
Who
Anyone
would
from
I
there?
want?
Tyrion, right? Little Tyrion.
The midget guy? Wait, who's Tyrion?
That's him.
I think you have to call them little people
Dwarf.
now.
I think he's a dwarf.
Is it a dwarf?
No,
That's the term?
I'm sorry. I don't want him as my dad.
Whoa.
Because he's like an uncle. He's like a cool, fun uncle you could get drunk with.
Oh, okay. Peter Dinklage would approve.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, Game of Thrones. I wouldn't want anyone from Game of Thrones to be
Jon
my...
Snow.
You've watched
I would not want Jon Snow. I'd want to sleep
anything
with Jon
from like the
Snow,
past
so that'd be
25
weird.
years of TV you've watched.
What do I watch? You know me better than me, Pat. Ready, go.
I don't know what you were watching in high school, middle school, elementary
Well,
school.
can we-
Grey's Anatomy.
We can ixnay.
That show's been on for that
For
long?
so long.
We can ixnay America's favorite dad from the 80s. You know who I'm talking about.
No,
Bill
so
Cosby.
listen, I had a big debate about that in my head when it was posed to me. Because it's the TV dad, it's not the actor, it's the TV dad.
Yes.
I didn't pick him still, but that was a debate I had.
I think I have the best TV dads, and they love each other.
Can it be reality TV?
Yeah, that's fine.
I would love Gordon Ramsay because he would cook for me.
I think you kind of like that tough love kind of mentality too.
Yeah.
I think you would. Like he would take no nonsense from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I would pick, my mom would be Roz from Frasier. She also no nonsense attitude. Right, but she's also a good single mom. She made it work. She became a producer of a news.
We've
station.
changed guards on this.
Yeah.
Why are you thinking like a single mom though? Why don't you pick someone like
No, because I don't know.
happy, loving?
Because even as a single mom, she was still happy and loving and worked hard to raise her child and career. She was able to do all that and
I'm
more.
not
So
saying,
you give
I
her a
didn't mean
husband
you're not
too.
happy and loving when you're single.
No, but
I
you give her a husband too, she'll be even better.
Yeah.
You know, she's just got
Okay.
some guts and spike. My father, I would pick Judd Hirsch from Taxi. Judd Hirsch. He's just a wise man, right? And he was a bad dad for his first kid, so now he's going to be much better with me because he's going to try much harder. Yeah.
You would be so much more Jewish.
Right?
It's hard to see.
Judd Hirsch and Perry Gilpin. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I would be a very well-adjusted child right now.
I really like the dad from that 70s show.
Red.
Yeah,
Kurtwood
Red.
Smith.
Yeah.
Smith. So you want him or Gordon Ramsay?
More tough love too.
Yeah,
I know.
He's definitely a trend here.
I don't know. I guess just for the food, Gordon Ramsay. But like, if we're gonna pick like a dad character from a dad show, I'd pick Red.
You pick him.
Yeah.
Okay. Korean War vet. There you go.
Shout out to all the vets.
Yesterday
was Veterans Day. It will definitely not be yesterday at the time that this podcast goes up.
Maybe we can get a little more political.
No. Not here. You go elsewhere. There's plenty of places where you can go. You want to get political. You do not come
Go
here.
to Facebook. Just kidding. PSA, don't go on Facebook and share your political
All
views.
this
No one
will be
cares.
irrelevant by the time this episode airs.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
guys.
get to the episode.
Peace out.
Okay, we did it.
That was fun.
Glad you had fun, Kerry.
Oh my God.